What's good, you guys? Welcome back to Black Tea. It's your girl Ebony. Okay, you guys, so there is a topic I wanted to discuss after I saw an interview and recent article that was done yesterday in regards to Salt and Peppa basically blaming Nicki Minaj for the over actualization of female rap. And you guys know I can't say the full sex word because of YouTube, which is annoying, but please bear with me. Now, I wanted to break this down a little bit, so get your snacks and let's get into it. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Salt and Peppa was actually very active in the mid 1980s. You have the Brooklyn native Cheryl Salt James, who then met another Queens native Jamaican rapper, Sandra, who would eventually be called Peppa, and they were actually both studying nursing at the Queensborough Community College. They also became very close and worked at Sears. Now, they actually decided out of nowhere that they wanted to start a rap group, and in the 1985, they had a song, The Showstopper, actually reached number 46 on the Billboard R&B chart, and they pretty much took off from there. Now, they also had, in December of 1986, the song Push It that actually propelled them into their international breakthrough. Now, this is what they said to The Sun. Nicki Minaj has led the charge among female rappers over the last decade, but she's not a fan of the current trend. Cheryl, who is known as Salt, says there was a long time when there were no women. There was a big gap, and then Nicki Minaj came out and she led the charge. Then all these women start following behind her, but there's only a certain type, and it's over-actual. They also said female rap actually favors a more conservative approach to fashion, especially in comparison of what we see now, like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion. Now, over the past decades, we've seen many female rappers provide some female rap anthems, as I would like to call them. We had Lil' Kim with How Many Licks, Kaya with My Neck, My Back, Cupcake with Deep Throat, and so many other female rappers who have really pushed the envelope when it comes to voicing what they want in regards to pleasure. But let's be clear, right? I'm often conflicted myself when it comes to female rap, especially because historically Black women have been shamed for their bodies and always used as financial gain for other people. But as I've listened to hip hop over the years, I've started to understand that there is just so many other factors when it comes to female rappers being over the top or using their bodies for financial gain. For example, in the early 2000s, there was a huge issue with female rappers who would allow other women to be in their music. Now, there was a rapper that went by Shantae in the early 2000s, and for those of you guys who don't know, she was from Queens, New York, and she actually corroborates what I'm saying in regards to video vixens. She told ABC News that it was hard for female rappers, especially when it came to holding down their spot in the industry.
To it, like they say, well, it was all about battle rhymes and battle raps. And so I walked in with a certain amount of confidence. That's when I felt the politics of hip hop. So then what they did was they made the video girl more important than the female rapper.
Oh, let's sexualize the woman in hip hop.
Exactly.
Was that
So
a
now,
plan?
so now
Right,
what
it was planned
happens
out.
is the talent that the female rapper now possesses is overshadowed by sexualizing the female in hip hop. So then you have the next generation of female rapper who comes out who says, okay, now I'm sexy and
I
I'm
rap.
talented. You see?
Now
So
what?
Exactly. So now what are you going to do?
Now, this actually makes sense because think about it. During the early 2000s, a lot of male rappers had women all throughout their videos, right? And that's why I say this is a bigger issue. I believe that although, right, there were female rappers who wanted to showcase their talent, they understood that during that time, it was about the video vixen. It was about the sexy girl in the video doing the most, showing her body, and all the men want her. So I feel like this set a precedent for new female rappers. Female rappers are like, okay, look, so now I'm pretty, I have the talent, and I can talk about being sexy. So now what are you going to do? And I think that this issue with body image is not just the focal point of new female rappers. I honestly feel like it was orchestrated as another tactic to box female rappers out of a male dominated space. That's a lot, I know. But think about it. Today's female rappers are expected to look the part at all costs. Not only do they need to compete with their male counterparts, but they feel like they have to look better than the video vixens, Instagram models. There's this whole trend with BBL, and many artists feel like unless they have the BBL, the big boobs, then they won't get the amount of attention that they should. It was actually very interesting that the rapper Lakia, she's very new to hip hop, but she sat down with Angie Martinez and she talked about this same thing.
What do you think your generation cares most about, especially from a female rapper?
Well, right now it's about looks. It's about how you look. You know, you come in the game, it's rare to look like me right now. So, you know,
What do you mean? What is that?
Slim.
You know, slim, don't have everything.
Big butt.
As ain't but.
Do you ever have pressure to do that?
Definitely. That's the worst part about it, just having to deal with so many comments from people you don't know.
So as you see, she also felt some type of insecurity about her body type. Nicki Minaj also talked about this when she sat down with Joe Budden.
Around them all the time, and I was like sister. I was like the little sister with Wayne and Mac and all these boys, you know, J Mills and Gutta and all of them. And all I would hear them talking about is big butts. And I didn't feel complete or good enough, good as them, as those girls, because I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is what you're supposed to look like in the rap culture, and I don't look like that.
So when we look at this notion of Nicki Minaj being the person who started all of this off, I don't think that that's actually true. I think that N Peppa may have misspoke, because there are so many other female rappers who've contributed to the issue of body image. And unfortunately, I feel like it's just a way for female rappers to be boxed into a corner. Because every time we turn around, there are new producers, new labels who are telling these women, unless you look the part, you cannot get signed. We also have to understand that we are in a time right now where women are fighting for that dominant space. I mean, women are becoming more dominant. They're being able to experiment with life, whether that be in the bedroom or in the music industry. And although female rappers are highly criticized, let's be clear, they have actually brought women's pleasure to the forefront of a global conversation, because female pleasure has become a form of expression, right, that has been suppressed over so long. And now women feel like they have the ability to be outward with their sexiness, and they're now celebrated instead of being berated. And this is like, okay, women are no longer called thoughts all the time because they want to be over sexy. Now she's an empowered woman who is teaching other girls to demand what they want. And I also want to separate this though, because it's important to understand that N Peppa is not new to this. They had a song a while ago called Let's Talk About SEX. And there was a line in their song where they said, now we talk about SEX on the radio and video shows. Many will know anything goes. Let's tell it like it is and how it could be, how it was, and of course, how it should be. Those who think it's dirty have a choice. Pick up the needle, press pause, or turn the radio off. So as you see, N Peppa also pushed 9 years ago this same notion that women can talk about what they want, and if somebody doesn't like it, oh well, they cannot listen to the song. So to see them use Nicki Minaj as the sole reason for the new wave of female rappers being overly relational, it's just not fair, because I think every single female rapper in this game has contributed to that notion. Now let's play devil's advocate and let's talk about how this this could be detrimental to us in the long run socially. Now, there is no doubt that female rappers are often seen as empowerment, but there is also this effect socially that actually goes against the grain of what feminism actually is. We know that feminism does not want us to objectify a woman's body. However, female rappers are doing that and being praised for that. So could that be hurtful to society? Absolutely. Could that be hurtful to the children of our society? Absolutely. But that's where we get into people's responsibility. Do we hold people accountable for their artistry? Do we tell them, if you're going to be a role model, you have to do this, this, and this? Do we contradict ourselves and listen to their music while we're driving to work, but when we're with our kids, we say it's not a good song? So there's just so many different factors when it comes to female rap and their impact on the world today as far as women. Now, there's also a subset to this, and it's a little bit different, and I like to call this the wave of Cardi B. Now, what do I mean when I say the wave of Cardi B? Well, I mean that Cardi B is responsible, in my opinion, of ushering a different type of female rapper. These are the female rappers who don't really use their skill as the forefront, but they are on Instagram. They could get a beat, they can talk to a producer, they can get a team behind them, and they can be very successful. Cardi B has never really come out to say that she is very skilled at rap in general. But as an entertainer, she's always been able to hold that down. With that being said, she's also been awarded for her talent. And some people may call that lackluster talent. But we have to be clear when we say that Cardi B has been rewarded not so much for the skill of rap, but because of her being who she is. She's very relatable. People like her. Nobody cares if she writes her lyrics or not. And this is a new wave of female rappers. We are starting to see Instagram models go get their body done, and the next day you know, they're rappers. And it's done so much damage to rap in general because we are from the basics. We're not doing ciphers anymore. It's okay to just have somebody write your song and not show up for a freestyle. It's okay not to push your pen. And let's be clear, Nicki Minaj wasn't always overly actual, right? Nicki Minaj was rapping about real life stuff. She was doing her thing. She was grinding. And once she got into this game, she understood that I'm going to have to sell the way I look. If I don't sell that, I don't know how successful I will be in the female rap category. And let's be clear, she held it down like no one else could. Now, you guys know we can't talk about Salt and Peppa and Nicki Minaj in female rap unless we get into the mess. And I do think that Salt and Peppa do hold some bias against Nicki Minaj. If you guys don't remember, Salt and Peppa did do an interview with Vibe magazine back in 2010 where they said this: Nicki reminds me of Little Kim, bold, and you know, she's young, and a lot of people are like, oh, what do you feel about her because of the message? But to me, she hasn't learned the message yet. She also says, what happens when you have a male camp backing you? Yeah, you may be singing those type of lyrics. That's what happens when you have a male camp dictating how you should be. Now, although this was very messy, she also came back out, Salt and Peppa, in 2016 to show Nicki some respect. And she said, you know, Nicki is talented. That's why she's still here. Now, the Vibe magazine article is not the only time that Salt and Peppa had threw shade at Nicki Minaj. And I do feel that if we are going to talk about female rap, we need to talk about all of the women that are involved. There are different waves, there are different characters, and at the end of the day, not one woman can be blamed for everything that has happened in female rap, especially when it comes to how it has evolved. So at the end of the day, I think women who are in female rap are so successful, but yet they're so condemned at the same time. But you have to ask yourself the following questions. Well, if it's so bad to talk about their relational wants and pleasure, then why do only the songs about their boom booms go high on the charts? Why aren't we talking about the songs that are emotional? Why isn't the general public supporting regular music if you want. And although female rap has become one-dimensional, this is how female rappers are going to be successful because this is what's selling now. And it's sad because we only celebrate female rappers when she's saying things we want to hear and telling us to pop our boom boom. But we have women like, MC Light, Young M.A., No Name, all of these other women who do rap as well, and they don't get the same amount of attention because they're not popping the boom booms and nobody wants to hear about it. So let me know what you guys think about this topic down below, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know what you think about female rap being too sexy. What do you think should be done, and who do you think is to blame? I'll talk to you guys in the comment section. I love you as always, and we'll talk very soon. Bye, guys.